I believe that promoting a movie is not suited for everyone. Production houses seem to be wasted their money on unnecessary elements that distract from the essence of their product. In recent times, several movies have received a complete neglection from the audiences due to poor marketing strategies. To be honest, I was least excited for this project of Akshay and Arshad only because of the abysmal marketing of the movie. But after watching it, I have the opinion otherwise. Jolly LLB 3 is the continuation of the story of this universe where both the Jollies, Jagdish Tyagi from 2013 and Jagdishwar Mishra from 2017, collided at the same court with the same case of justice for the farmers, which is loosely inspired by the incidents that occurred in Bhattaparsal village from UP back in 2011. Forming the basic narrative of Subhash Kapoor's directed Akshay Kumar and Arshad Warsi leading courtroom comedy drama Jolly LLB 3, which hits the big screens. This is Point of View, and I'll be discussing the good, the bad and the verdict in this video so you can make an informed decision about whether this series deserves your time or not.
अर्जेंट है, थोड़ा प्रेशर ज्यादा आ गया सर। क्या खाया था कल रात को? राजमा खाया था क्या? नहीं सर, छोले। आज तो इफेक्ट तो एक ही है ना। हाँ सर, लेकिन छोले में खट्टी टकारी ज्यादा आती है सर।
First, the good. The dialogues and screenplay. In retrospect, I noticed this franchise is heavily dependent upon the moments and the dialogues, especially the final 10 to 20 minutes. The pumped up closing statements of both the parties in front of the judge have created such iconic moments, and this was also not a fail in this case. The slow build up of the situation through dialogues was on point to be with the narrative, and how gradually it took the time to fit the characters with their own banter, which was also very well written in the situation, which was outstanding to watch. Those were so effortless that the indulgence of me as an audience always seemed so glib, and how the screenplay manages to have the balance between both the presentation of Jollies with their own identity, frequency and mood. That is something to notice. I just loved the way Subhash Kapoor, the director, always kept both the characters in the mind regardless of their stardom, but the importance in this case, the balance of comedy and seriousness. This was an important point to consider, especially when addressing such serious topics as the core theme while blending them with comedy. The first half was, as usual, full of banter between both the characters, and those were thoroughly entertaining. You will have a constant smile on your face, but the total seriousness it brought when it dealt with the main theme and those transitions was effortlessly done. Even when the narrative shifted into a more serious tone in the second half, there were still a few scenes interspersed to preserve the essence of comedy, which I appreciated and enjoyed. These moments were not merely presented as refreshing elements within the plot. That was a good treatment. The performances. Both the Jollies have their own balanced screen time to deliver, and they both have done a pretty decent performance. Their comedy timing was bang on, especially with Akshay. His improvised scenes will just be pitch perfect, but I have a problem with his character. No, actually with him. Probably it's me, or if you guys have noticed the same, just comment down here that in the final argument, while he was in the main focus, wasn't he following any transcriber or something like that for those long monologues? The recent acquisition of him having a transcription to deliver his dialogues was evident in many movies. People do point out those on social media, and that's why I was following his eyes in those particular scenes. I found those a bit annoying. That's why I'm raising that here. Maybe I'm wrong, but still. Okay, so back to the review again. Saurav Shukla as the judge, Sundar Lal Tripathi was outstanding with his comic timing. I think he perfectly fits into this world of Jollies. There is a different interest of him in this movie, and that portion was hilariously done by him. Gajraj Rao as Hari Bhai Khaitan, a character that was forced to be reckoned with, was presented on a very large scale, and he pulled that off brilliantly. Seema Vishwas as Janki Rajaram Solanki will be a special mention from my end. She didn't had much space to perform here, but in the end, I barely hold back my tears. Now the disappointing aspects. A strong antagonist. If it was Gajraj Rao's character itself, then the tussle would be much more interesting to watch. But the opponent that they have set was Ram Kapoor's character, and he didn't deliver the exact charm the previous ventures had with the opposition lawyers. Whether it was Advocate Rajpal with Boman Irani's character or Advocate Sachin Kantilal Mathur with Anu Kapoor's character, both had their force to be reckoned with, have their peak ego and stature, which was an interesting point to be with the arguments. But here, it was completely missing. First of all, Ram Kapoor's character was navigated by another character with supreme power, and his character faded away completely. You won't even remember him as the part of this universe. Before the release of this movie, it had its own problem legally, and I believe those were justified. And keeping those in mind, the makers executed it in that particular way. Very impractical with the court related things and a decorum, but let's ignore that, believing the creative liberty. But still, it was a very good movie to enjoy, not following the same template as this has, but presented in a very unique way, especially in the climax. It was designed in the most sincere manner, a wholesome movie that deserves a theatrical run. The overall presentation with the cast and the subject was such a good experience. So, at least in terms of quality, we can say that the trilogy curse finally has ended with Jolly LLB 3. But let's hope it will get the financial run also. And that's the video. So what are your thoughts? If you have watched it, please let me know in the comments below. You can follow me on Instagram. The handle is pointofview9. Thank you so much for watching. See you at the point of view.